Bill Cosby is out of prison after Pennsylvania's highest court overturned his sex assault conviction. The stunning news reverberating across our area, the nation, and the world. Live team coverage continues now on the 6. And we start with that breaking news. Bill Cosby is home. He's out of prison.
Right here.
204.
And today, on this hot day, this is a hot verdict for us that we will forever cherish.
Bill, give us a few words. Just say a few words.
That is all we have heard him say today, just 204. Not sure what that means. He also waved, threw up a peace sign after appearing alongside his team outside his home in Elkins Park. This was all just a couple of hours after his conviction was overturned. He arrived home around 3:30 this afternoon. All of this after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his sexual assault conviction this afternoon. We have team coverage on what's frankly a stunning development. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
And I'm Chris O'Connell, live in Norristown outside the Montgomery County Courthouse. This is where it all started. This is where it may be ending. Jenny Joyce, live outside of Bill Cosby's house in Elkins Park. Jenny, what's going on there?
Good evening, Chris. It has been quite the spectacle out here in Cheltenham Township. We are live outside of Bill Cosby's home. As you mentioned, you might be able to hear shouting on a megaphone, a protester out here. We've seen several protesters. We have seen supporters as well. We've also seen a lot of neighbors coming out here and taking pictures to document this historic moment. And earlier today, our chopper was overhead catching a glimpse of Bill Cosby and his crew returning home from prison, driving in through the front entrance of his home. Again, this is after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction. Cosby and his team of lawyers came out to address the media about an hour and a half ago. Bill, with a smile on his face, shouting 204. We have yet to get clarification on what that means. His attorneys stepping up to do the bulk of the talking, expressing their happiness, saying that their client never should have been prosecuted in the first place.
Today, on this hot day, this is a hot verdict for us that we will forever cherish because we got one of the greatest or the greatest entertainer alive today. Mr. Bill Cosby, this great American citizen, this American treasure, this icon.
We knew all along he never should have been prosecuted for this. He had every right to rely on the prosecutor's word. And they pulled the rug out from underneath him because of politics, because of the court of public opinion, and that is not how our system should operate.
That attorney went on to say that Bill Cosby is extremely happy to be at home, reunited with his wife and his children, saying that it's been a tough 3 years for this family. She also added that his heart was beating really fast this afternoon. Shayna?
Thank you, Jenny. Been a chaotic day there. Let's go back to Chris.
And moments ago, Andrea Constad, the accuser in Bill Cosby's case, released a statement on Twitter reading in part, today's majority decision regarding Bill Cosby is not only disappointing, but of concern that it may discourage those who seek justice for sexual assault in the criminal justice system from reporting or participating in the prosecution of the assailant. She went on to say to thank the other women who came forward as well as the prosecutors who went after Bill Cosby. Now let's bring in Joanne Pileggi live outside of the prison in Collegeville at the SEI Phoenix. Joanne, what's it like out there?
Well, it's a little more quiet than it was a few hours ago. Cosby had spent the better part of 3 years here in a cell and behind bars and behind barbed wire at the State Correctional Institute here at Phoenix. But that all changed today with this dramatic turn of events in the judicial system, and he walked out of here today a free man. The 83-year-old Cosby was convicted of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault in April of 2018 and sentenced 3 to 10 years for the crimes. The victim, Andrea Constad, settled a civil suit against Cosby in which he admitted drugging and having consensual sex at his home. But his attorney successfully argued that Cosby brokered an agreement with the former prosecutor, Bruce Castor, that he would not be tried in criminal court, all of which eventually happened when Cosby's testimony in his civil case became public. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court decided to vacate Cosby's conviction based on the agreement he apparently had with the prosecutor. The court also mentioned the fact that other victims were called to testify against Cosby during his criminal trial. Upon hearing the stunning news, several people showed up at the prison. They offered different opinions on the high court decision.
It is the best day. Somebody's getting released from something they didn't do. People have been accusing people left and right. Oh, you did this. You're standing here. What are you doing here? And then all of a sudden, nobody's doing nothing. Nobody did nothing wrong.
Well, it's great that the rich people get to have nice sweetheart deals like that where they don't get prosecuted, where normal people like you and I would just be thrown in jail and forgotten about. So I think it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. It's quite sad. I'm tired of this PA Supreme Court and decisions they've been making recently. It's just definitely one of them.
Certainly there will be no shortage of opinions everywhere after this bombshell turn of events in the legal system in the case with Bill Cosby. By the way, I keep hearing this 204. We've been here since before 2 today, and some of the wardens, some of the corrections officers brought us, the media, water around that time, and then that is the time apparently he was put in a car and driven off the prison grounds, sometime between 2 o'clock and 2:30. So that may be the 204 that everyone is talking about. For now, we're live at the State Correctional Institute in Collegeville. I'm Joanne Pileggi, Fox 29 News.
Yeah,
Back
it makes
to you,
sense.
Shana.
I think a lot of people were Googling 204. What does that mean? And that would make sense. Thank you, Joanne. So Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin Steele released a statement on the ruling. It reads in part, he was found guilty by a jury and now goes free on a procedural issue that is irrelevant to the facts of the crime. My hope is that this decision will not dampen the reporting of sexual assaults by victims. Prosecutors in my office will continue to follow the evidence wherever and to whomever it leads. We still believe that no one is above the law, including those who are rich, famous, and powerful. We also heard a bit from attorney Gloria Allred, who was a lead defense attorney in both of Cosby's trials.
Allred represented 33 of Cosby's accusers during his trial, including a majority of the witnesses who testified in both criminal cases. She touched on how she thought the overturned ruling will impact possible accusers in similar cases.
Many victims will continue to have the courage to come forward, and if they have support from victims' rights attorneys, from victims' advocates in the criminal justice system, they will know they're not alone, and they know that they have the power to help to win justice.
Well, reaction to this news, as you can imagine, pouring in from Hollywood tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Felicia Rashad, who played Cosby's TV wife for many years, as you knew her probably, Claire Huxtable, she tweeted, "Finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected." Her words have received a lot of support and a lot of backlash on social media. One such critic who is not celebrating this is Mark Lamont Hill. We've had him, he's a professor locally, and he tweeted this: Bill Cosby is not innocent. He has not been exonerated. His release means that Cosby, a sexual predator, was incarcerated within a criminal legal system that has as little regard for its own rules and procedures as Cosby does for his victims. Surely local reaction as well from folks on both sides of this.
Yeah, let's take it out to our Shawnette Wilson right now. Shawnette, you're getting reaction to today's historic decision. What are you hearing? I'm guessing you're hearing all sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, all sides, Chris. But the one thing in common is that everybody I talked to said that they were surprised, completely stunned by this. No one said they actually imagined this happening or saw this coming. We talked to people out in Rittenhouse today, some of them saying that they heard this come across TV. Others say they found out about it when it exploded on social media. We spoke to one young man who says that he was informed about this by his teacher. And again, as Chris just said, people on both sides of the issue here, we will always have people who will say that They are confident that Bill Cosby was innocent. They look at him as this beloved TV character that he played and also view his contributions to the city of Philadelphia. But others say that the justice system here has failed them, and they are concerned about the message this sends to victims.
It's frustrating, and it would be angering, and putting myself in the position of one of those women. That's the sad part, and I would be pretty enraged if I was them, and so I feel as though that's really who you need to be protecting and seeing justice served.
They should still be held accountable for what they did, no matter the person or the age, but it's like what he did was still wrong.
I mean, that's good. You know, Bill Cosby, I always looked at Bill Cosby. I thought he was a great guy. So, you know, things happen for a reason, you know, and I think it'll work out better in his favor. So.
And we have heard a lot of people talking about Bill Cosby's innocence or their belief in his innocence, but important to mention here and to continue to point out here is that this decision by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court today to overturn this conviction has nothing to do with his innocence. As we've heard it being said, this is about a procedural issue, Shana and Chris. So again, people passionate though on both sides of this. Yeah. Bill Cosby, a free man.
All right, Shawnette, thank you. No shortage of opinion here. Thanks, Shawnette.
Well, keep it right here. Coming up, we'll speak with a legal expert about today's stunning news that Bill Cosby's conviction has been overturned. And we would be remiss to not talk about this heat wave. My goodness. Here's a live look at Ocean City right now. A lot of people just trying to escape the heat of the city. PA, South Jersey, just heading down the shore. It's a little cooler, but it's still hot, muggy, and intense out there. Kathy, everyone wants to know, when will we get a break?
We're going to get a break as early as tomorrow, but the break comes in the way of thunderstorms. Some moving into our north tonight. The rest of us see them tomorrow. Flooding a concern and even the threat of severe weather. We'll break it down and help you plan for your Thursday coming up.